Hi everyone, Pat Winter here. Today I'm finally getting around to making the video of my latest journal, which was inspired by SweetpeaCuriosities. It's one of her newer kits with the blue, I didn't write down the name of it, but I will put it below the video. It's just a beautiful kit in blues. So I dyed up some more cotton lace fabric, and that's what I created the cover with. Just, I don't know if you could see the detail in this beautiful cotton fabrics, vintage. That's a little piece of bridal lace. And this is an actual hanky that I put on the back for a pocket. So some of the digitals I used in here were from, of course, the main kit from SweetpeaCuriosities, Cheryl FrancisArt, DigitalScrapHelper, DorothyJanePaperie, hi Dodie, PinkMonarch prints, and Papier Defleurs. But there are bits and pieces, I'm sure, of others. Anyway, rusted a little paper, or a little bulldog clip, and put it on a couple pearls, and it is leaving some little rust marks here, which I don't mind at all, because the title is Sweet Remnants. So I have a rusted paper or safety pin and little crystal and bead dangle, and this little rose, it just comes out. It's just a little rosebud from my garden. And instead of just having it all in the blues and some creams, I did add a few touches of roses. And that's why I put the little dried rose in the front. So it's a hardback, 2 signature, and covered with vintage laces. And in the front cover, I have just a journaling card, a little postcard. And under the front cover, it's just a vintage piece of lace trim, and I just added a couple of pretty large papers for journaling. And I watched a couple videos recently while I was doing this from RubyandPearlXO. And so I did a few things. I made her the envelopes that I had purchased quite a while ago, but I decided to go ahead and do some for this kit and just use like a blue silk ribbon and a wax seal. And she just made them. They're in her videos. I'll link them to this. She just sewed up the sides, and they're just for journaling cards. Tied in a ribbon, tucked away. So I have a few of them, and then this is one, but I just glued it down to use as a pocket. And here's a little touch of a rose, like I had mentioned. And here's some, this is not a vintage, but it's a fabric that was just all ruffles. So I ripped it apart and dyed up a bit of it, because I will be using this color again. Which, if you remember, I just finished my 3rd sea journal, which I'm going to video for my own records, but I'm not going to show because it is a personal journal. But I put mother of pearl buttons on it. This is a little purse, just a little purse charm, like a little clasp handle, and I just kind of gathered some fabric and turned it into a little purse under this pretty envelope, which I used as the pocket, because I titled this coin envelope "A Lady's Keepsakes," and then I cut that out and put it in the oval for a like a cameo. And then I made, these are the colors that are in the journal. So I just made a little swatch card with those. And this I've had, it's one of the, let's see who it is, the Paper Factory. They used to be really popular about 15 years ago or less. Anyway, this was a little bridal card, but the colors were pretty and I like the lady, so I put that in here as well. And I do have an envelope for that. I am going to put the envelope in there too in case somebody wants to use it. If I decide to get rid of this, this might be my journal. I'm not sure. I'm kind of slowing down and making journals. I've got a lot going on right now. So I will probably not be doing any, and if I do, I'm not sure if I'm going to sell anymore. I think this might be the last one if I do decide to sell it. But I don't know, things can change, who knows. So here's just a little paper clip, one of those little triangular ones, Japanese I think they are. And this is one of the pretty cards from SweetpeaCuriosities, the kit. And that's just a piece of sari silk. And this is on the other side, just a couple, oh, that's just one little faux letter to write on the back. And this is the colors that I was inspired by. This is one of the cards. I just printed some aged, actually the aged backings for a lot of these journaling cards are from Joey. And I will also put his shop below. And a nice long, I thought that was pretty. It kind of reminds me of a piece of eucalyptus. And that pretty little card. Oh, this is Ruby and Pearl. She recently did a tutorial, a video on these, well, now I can't get it in there, these little folded, multi-pocketed little things out of book pages. I thought it was really sweet, so I did tuck, you know how I like little cards. So anyway, that was a cute idea, so I had to use it. So thank you, Heather, for that. And a piece of Amity Bloom's bloom tape. I love her washi tape. I was lucky enough to get several new ones this time. Just a little piece of ephemera and some vintage tatting that was already the shade of blue, so it had to go in here. Just a vintage book page. I think it's a rag paper. And on this page is a nice large journaling card. I love that. It's so pretty. And what I did, for her kit, she's got several collaged pages in this kit. And I printed them on both copy paper, photocopy paper, and photo cardstock. And I cut out, well, you'll see, I layered them, but I cut them out to layer them so I wouldn't lose the image, the collaging, yet I made it so I could use them as pockets. And this little piece of ephemera with a rose, I just added a couple more little tuck spots, a piece of vintage lace. And I took this sheer little piece of cotton fabric and added this gentleman. He's the only guy in the book, in this journal. But I just thought he would be neat tucked away in here. Well, I'll deal with that later. And this is a genuine calling card. And it has the name of the person, and it was Edward Albog, I don't know. And so this is Edward. That's a calling card that he left at the residence of a young lady that he later betrothed. And this tuck spot just has a couple of journaling card ephemera pieces. And a piece of dyed, the butterfly pea flower dyed paper, which is a tea. And this is, okay, I can't think of her name. Oh, gosh. Well, I'll come back to it. But it's the thing that I do a lot because I like her ideas. She's on the Sam Pool design team. And for the life of me, I cannot think of her name right now. I am so sorry. Rhonda. Goodness, Rhonda. A little bit French. Goodness, my mind. And in here, was the collaged paper or page, and I just cut it out and used it as a little side tuck spot. Put a little vintage glass button. And this was a book page, you know, the vintage books that have the little piece of tissue in front. But this, if you look closely, it's a building. And it just kind of through the years bled onto this this tissue paper. So I thought that was neat. And I do have the picture in the back that it was under. And on this page, just a couple of large journaling papers, a journaling card, and then this sweet lady from the kit. Just a piece of vintage paper. And this is a vintage, well, an antique card. It's actually about this big, but I made them smaller in Photoshop and printed out the two sides and made just a miniature to tuck in here. It has a little verse in here, but it was a greeting card, a Victorian greeting card. And I thought it was sweet. And it was blue, so it was a nice addition in here. And here's a sweet girl tucked in there. And this is another of Heather, Ruby and Pearl's envelopes with a card. And I used the tuck as a, or the pocket as a, to display some vintage mother pearl buttons. And here's a hidden paper clip, just a very simple basic one. I just folded one of her tags in half and embellished it. And another one of her envelopes with the card in it. And this is actually pretty heavy. It's a photograph, and it has a metal brass charm around it. And this was on the other side. And I bent it, and I used a little fake aged tape. And this is a tuck up. I think that's what they call it. I just put a little piece of the vintage lace trimmed fabric. I love that really fine vintage fabrics, the cottons. And this is a hidden paper clip that I just added an empty envelope with rose to put whatever you want. And I just put a little purse charm and some crystals and then some vintage dyed lace with some sari. Just a very simple. And again, I folded one of her cards in half and used it for a hidden paper clip. And here's just another sweet card with, and I use sari pretty much for all of the tabs or tags. And another envelope to put whatever you want in. And I love this lace paper. That also, this teamed up with, which I believe is Cheryl Francis. She's got pinks and creams and all kinds, but this blue it just grabbed my attention, and I've been waiting for something to use it on. Then when I saw the SweetpeaCuriosities new kit in blue, I just went off and had to do it. When she announced it on Instagram, I grabbed it immediately. It was stunning. Some ephemera and just a little card an envelope. I have a few more of these in here, but I didn't use it. I didn't seal it as an envelope. I just used it open somewhere in here. And here's another of Ruby and Pearl's little folded pocket. Just fold it up. She's got them decorated and has real pretty inserts in hers. I just wanted to do kind of basic letters in dust and lace. And I love that little vintage, or it's not vintage, but it's an older French trim, jacquard trim. And on this page, I just added a piece of cotton trim, lace trim, and I sewed her on it. And she's a pocket, and I just sewed on some vintage mother of pearl buttons, and then underneath her is just a nice large journaling card. And then I made a little pin, or I decorated a little stick pin with a bead and just a little, whatever that's called, I can't think. And just pinned it in there just for decoration. And here's a large mother of pearl button, like a coat button. I put on this card and just added some regular journaling cards. And this is a Venice applique that I had dyed along with this batch of laces. And it's a lady sewing or doing needlework or something. Paper Dreams and Vintage Seams. And here's some really, really old tatting. And then just a tiny little cluster of vintage cottons and lace. And the second signature just has a nice little card. I think this is a Tim Holtz, but I'm not sure. A friend had given me a pack of them, but I thought it was pretty and it went well. A gentle pause. She's just resting by the creek. And this page is just a flip out. It's a pretty lady and some more of that vintage trim. A nice journaling piece of paper with this pretty lady. I love that. It's very simple. It's just touches of blue. Beautiful. Oh, I did paper punch this little bird. I don't know if you can see him. There you go. The little bird in there. And I put a piece of my dried hydrangea from my garden this year under a piece of mica. And on this old music sheet, I just turned it into a pocket and added, here's one of those. Looks like an envelope, but you can write on it if you don't seal the edges. And then just a piece of ephemera and just a piece of fabric, sheer fabric, and some vintage small buttons from children's clothing. And this was a hanky. It's a piece of a hanky, and it was such a pretty, it had tears on it, but it's a dimensional. I thought it was so pretty, so I dyed it along with this batch to use it as just a tuck spot for a large journaling card. A little piece of vintage lace and a doily. So this is like what a page would be like, or half of a page. It's so pretty the way she collaged everything so beautifully. And this is a flip out, a couple pieces of bloom tape, and then the journaling card comes out, and a couple pieces of my hydrangea. And I just kind of made a little topper for this little notebook. But I made it this, I think I have one more little piece of these tap pants. I believe they're from the 20s, but look at that. It's just got the most beautiful little delicate embroidered design on this, and that is the original blue silk ribbon or satin ribbon that ran through the tap pants. It's beautiful. I love this. And then the little smocking, and look how sheer that is. It's gorgeous. The beauty of worn things. And I think this was the, Ruby and Pearl's idea as well, I think. It's the T-pin with the little crystal. I think she added beads. And this is just a simple piece of doily. Here's a piece of trim. I believe I got that at Tinsel Trading in New York. I'm not sure. I think I did. It's just beautiful. It's got little pink flowers on it, and then a gray pleated edge. Under this belly band, I have a couple of little journaling cards, envelopes to put little trinkets in, little mementos, and a couple of nice sized journaling cards. And this, I just used a tea bag, which you can flip and you can write some secret stuff in here. And it's a pocket that just has a couple of little journaling cards in the front. These are in the kit, and this, again, a friend had given me a packet of these. Anyway, that goes inside of this, and this just tucks delicately in the very front. And a piece of bloom tape. That is just beautiful. And another pretty page. Piece of mulberry from my friend Terry. And this is just a piece of paper I just put over top of the, I'll probably secure it with another hidden paper clip. And a little rose tuck spot for a journaling card. And some more vintage lace. And a piece of super fine cotton from the tap pants. And this is from a dresser scarf. And it has the fine cotton. I love that. But it was in my linen drawer, and it was so beat up. I took it out and tore it and decided to use it in my journals. If I do more. Here's another that I left to journal on, something secret. Put in a couple journaling cards, and then down here I put in a couple of smaller journaling cards under this receipt. And on this side, this flaps out, or flips out, and then there's a journaling card in here. And in here, these are, no, I don't remember who these are. This is a set I had just purchased. I just put mother of pearl buttons on each corner and just added a couple of journaling cards. Some more lace trim. And I used this, I took advantage of this frame for this lovely little lady for a journaling card. And I put some tiny vintage French metallic edged. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oops, I'm bringing the whole thing with me. Anyway, it's got a trim. It's just a beautiful little trim that I did find at Tinsel Trading. It's got a tiny silver metallic edge on it. And under this piece, this little tuck spot is a rose card. Little piece of a rose. And this is also from my Ruby and Pearl. This is a larger envelope. She has the set in her shop of several others, but I just added some rhinestone trim and a real or authentic piece of German scrap and just kind of aged it a little bit, and then added a nice large journaling card to that and a piece of large paper to journal on with the vintage dyed piece of lace. Uh-oh, let loose. There we go. And under the back, I have this pretty, you can see this beautiful cut work here and applique. This was a hanky, and I just used it as a pocket. This is an authentic, unused postcard, so I don't know what year it's from. Little piece of washi tape just to add a little bit of color and roses. And this is the picture from the front, that fine paper, or fine, the tissue paper somewhere up here, that this was laying, this was on, like, under it, so it transferred. Actually, it was this way, but it transferred, and I thought that was kind of neat. So I just added both. I didn't want to separate them. And that's it. This is Sweet Remnants. And it was really fun to make, and I just absolutely love the SweetpeaCuriosities kit, which I will, again, list under the video. So thank you for watching. Oh, I did want to show you this cute little picture. This is my mother. I don't know if you can see it. That is my mother. She was a little towhead. But taken in West Virginia, near Gray Barbers. I just thought I wanted to share that with you. So thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.